Hey everybody, Meredith Baker for On the Map, Off the Radar, and I am here with Hudson Baird, the co-founder and executive director of Peloton U, which gives people the tools to go to college from afar while also providing them with mentorship so they can graduate debt-free. And I thought this would be a timely episode right after Michelle Obama, the First Lady, launched the Better Make Room campaign, which is hoping to promote higher education and vocational training for the 14 to 19-year-old demographic in the States. So without further ado, thank you so much for taking the time.
Of course, thank you for having me.
And could you start by explaining what Peloton U is and its kind of model for helping deliver education?
Yeah, it kind of helps to think about Peloton as a primary care physician for education. So there's a lot of folks who are working full-time, want to go to college, and can't figure out how to make it work. They feel stuck, they feel confused by forms and schools and knowing where to go and what to do. And so we recruit students from where they work. We match them with high quality online programs that we've vetted for quality, for tuition, for workforce alignment, and then we provide in-person mentorship and tutoring every week to make sure they've got the accountability, the support, the coaching, and really the community of learning so that they're doing online, but they've got a group of people to do it with so they can successfully graduate.
And how many students has Peloton U worked with so far? And can you highlight some success stories of Peloton U?
Yeah, we've worked with 40 students. We've got 3 graduates so far. And you know, it's fascinating, the students that we get to see. We've got Willie, who works at UPS in the warehouse and works the night shift and then comes in to do school here. We've got Patrick, who is a manager at Dunkin' Donuts and wanted to go back to college and never had the chance. We've got Uzma, who's a nurse at St. David's Hospital and wants to continue her education. We've got Selena, who's a bartender and is trying to go back to school. And kind of a variety of students who've got different stories and life experiences and want education to be a part of it and needed a little bit of context and direction to make that possible. And
can you kind of start to delve into what the mentorship aspect of it provides and what kind of services and work that you guys do with them while they're here doing their online courses?
Yeah, totally. So if you think about school, there's kind of 2 pieces of it. There's the academic and the non-academic. If you're going to school online and you hit something you don't understand, maybe it's a math class and you get stuck, and you can email a professor, you can call a call center, but you feel pretty distant and confused. So part of what we do is offer kind of in-person coaching and a relational resource as you get stuck, like, hey, I got someone, I know them, I can call them, they know me, my story. So kind of the academic coaching that helps make sure there's regular progress. If they need remediation or tutoring, we can do that. If they just need help learning how to study for a test or how to proofread a paper, we do all that as well. Non-academically, though, is really where we can be a lot more helpful. It's coaching around time management, around finding new jobs, around sometimes life gets crazy and stretched, or you need to change roommates or your car breaks down. It's kind of how do you get through all these other life circumstances that could get in the way of school and feel overwhelming to students sometimes, to make sure they've got the advice and the context to prioritize other things or to focus on school when they need to make sure they're making steady progress but never feeling overwhelmed.
Right, and I read on your website that 80% of students who have jobs typically don't graduate college, which especially in Texas is problematic because 90% of the fastest growing jobs require a college degree. So it seems like an organization like this would be more beneficial now more than ever. And do you guys have plans to expand into other cities, or what does the future look like for Peloton U?
Yeah, I mean, I think when we think about college, we think about a 4-year university with a really good football team. And that's awesome, but that's not the reality of the higher education landscape in America anymore. There's over 3 million people who have some college, no degree. Folks who are graduating, in average, have $29,000 worth of debt. And a lot of folks are going back to college later. And so you have people taking classes part-time, a class or 2 here or there, and never graduating. And so we're saying for that non-traditional student who's over 21, who can't live on campus, who can't go to school full-time, how do we make school fit for them, and what does it look like in the future? The answer has been community colleges, and for a lot of folks, specifically who want to do certificates in vocational training, that still makes sense. But if you're working so much that you can't go to class, you don't have a ton of options. And we're trying to help those students find online classes that fit in the schedule and the margins of their lives, and then have the in-person coaching and relationship to make it successful. Long term, we want to kind of prove this is another way to go to college. So you've got 4 universities if you can pay for it, 2-year community college if you've got the time, or blended online where it's competency-based education plus in-person support. And if we can kind of get the data and show that's effective, we'd like to help other communities replicate the same sort of model.
Amazing. And for our viewers, question that we typically ask is, how has this been obscured or underreported in mainstream media? And given that this is more of the mission of your organization and not a news story, how can it kind of also still speak to an aspect of maybe online colleges getting a bad rep, for example?
Yeah, I mean, justifiably, online schools have a really bad reputation, and the Department of Education is doing a good job cracking down on a lot of bad actors. Tuition's really high, people are getting leveraged with debt, and they're not learning things that actually help them get a job. And so a big part of our job is curating what are high quality, effective online programs and which aren't. And more we're seeing those come online. Big things to look for are regional accreditation, that they're nonprofit, that they are competency based, we think is important. So students are taking one class at a time and going at their own pace. And that there's an effective in-person relational coaching model to make sure the student has someone who can contextualize their studies, help them pick how their degree aligns to their long-term goals, and then make sure they've got support.
Well, amazing. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing how Peloton U continues to grow and help people reach the Better Make Room initiative.
Totally.
And we'll provide more information on Peloton U if you guys are interested in getting involved or want to apply yourself. Thanks. This has been On the Map, Off the Radar at Peloton U.